Have you ever wondered why he still lingers in your mind long after he's gone? Why you can feel his presence in a room even when he isn't there? Why he keeps coming back even when he says he's moved on? It's not magic. It's not manipulation. It's something far more powerful. You didn't just love him. You became the feeling he couldn't forget. Without even knowing, you became the emotional glue, the bond that held everything together, even when it was falling apart. There's a reason he remembers the way you laughed when no one else was around. There's a reason he still scrolls through old messages, pretending he's over it. It's because you didn't just give him love. You gave him safety. You gave him peace. You gave him something deeper than attraction. You became a home. And a man may walk away from a house, but he never forgets the place that felt like home. Seneca once said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." And yet, your imagination, it built dreams around him. It poured love into empty spaces. It saw potential where there was only pattern. That wasn't foolishness. That was your heart's power. But here's the truth. Just because you built that bond doesn't mean you were meant to carry it alone. You were never just a woman waiting for love. You were the center of it, but he didn't see it. He saw comfort and thought it would always be there. He mistook your softness for weakness, your loyalty for something ordinary. But what he didn't know, what he still doesn't understand, is that when you bond from the soul, when your presence feels like breath to someone, it's not something they can unfeel. You did not break him with your love. You awakened something in him he didn't even know he needed. But before I call you queen, I need you to understand something. This pain, this confusion, it isn't the end. It's the beginning. The moment you stop asking why he left and start remembering what he had, that's when you stop being someone's second thought and start living as the woman who holds the crown. Because a woman like you doesn't beg to be remembered. A woman like you becomes unforgettable. If these words touched something deep inside you, if they reminded you of the power you forgot you had, then take a moment, beautiful soul, and like this video. Subscribe to the channel because we are here, working hard, day and night, to bring you the truth, the healing, the strength you deserve. You are not alone in this journey, and every message we share is a step toward the woman you were always meant to become. Number 1. You were not just a woman in his life. You were the peace he didn't know he needed. Have you ever wondered why he still thinks about you when everything around him has changed? Why he feels your absence more than he ever valued your presence? It's because you were not just a moment in his life. You were the peace he didn't even know he was searching for. While he was chasing noise, you were the silence that soothed his spirit. While he was lost in the world, you became the place where he could finally breathe. And now, he feels the emptiness where your peace used to live. You didn't just make him smile, you made him feel safe. You didn't just speak to him, you reached a place inside him that no one else even noticed. That's what real emotional glue is. It's not loud, it's not dramatic. It's quiet, but it stays. It stays in the way he struggles to sleep without hearing your voice. It stays in the way his heart aches when he remembers the calm in your presence. You didn't chase him, you didn't beg him. You just became the one place in his life that felt like home. There's a saying, a storm never forgets the calm that once held it. You were that calm. You were the peace after his chaos, the warmth after his coldest days. He might have taken it for granted, but now he can't stop remembering what it felt like to be with you. You created a bond he never saw forming, but now that it's broken, it's all he can feel. Think of a lighthouse. It doesn't chase ships. It just stands strong, steady, always shining. You were that light. You guided him, even when he didn't realize he was lost. And now he's adrift, surrounded by others, yet still searching for the peace only you gave. But this isn't where you fall apart. This is where you rise, because you were never just part of his life. You were the best part, and now it's time to become the best part of your own life. Now it's time to step into the woman who doesn't just hold peace for others, but reigns in it for herself. Write this in the comments, queens, and claim it. I was his peace. I am my own power. Let the world know what he lost and what you're becoming. And if this message opened your eyes or healed a part of your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to bring you the truth, the healing, and the power you've always had inside you. Number 2. You made him feel seen in a way that stripped his walls, not his pride. Have you ever noticed how he opened up to you in ways he never did with anyone else? How he shared things he swore he'd never say out loud? It wasn't just because he trusted you, it was because he felt seen by you. Not just looked at, not just heard, but truly seen. You didn't force him to drop his guard. You made him feel safe enough to lower it on his own. And that's the kind of connection that never fades. That's emotional glue, the kind that sticks to his soul long after the goodbye. You didn't need to tear him down to get close. You didn't challenge his pride. You held space for his truth. While others only scratched the surface, you dug deeper without even trying. You saw the cracks behind his confidence, the boy behind the man, the pain behind the strength, and still you stayed. That kind of love, that kind of understanding, it's addictive because it's rare, because it's real. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and Queen, what you gave him came from within. You didn't perform for attention. You didn't chase validation. You gave from the heart. That's why your presence felt like a mirror. He didn't just see you. He saw himself in a way he never had before. And now, no matter where he goes, no matter who he turns to, he's going to miss the woman who made him feel whole without ever asking him to be perfect. Think of a lighthouse in the darkest storm. It doesn't scream, it doesn't chase, it just stands, steady, glowing, unshaken. That was you. And now that he's drifting, now that the waves feel colder, he remembers the light he took for granted. The one that saw him, guided him, never judged him. But lovely woman, hear this. You are not here to be a lifeline for a man who only values you when he's drowning. You are here to reign. You are the anchor, not the one who sinks. And if he couldn't hold that, that's his loss. So rise, Queen. Don't wait to be seen again. You already know who you are. Write this in the comments and claim it. I made him feel seen. Now I see myself. We are here, creating life-changing lessons just for you, because your power deserves to be remembered and respected. Number 3. He came for love, but you gave him healing, and healing is what makes a bond unforgettable. Have you ever wondered why he still remembers you, even when he's with her? Why he's drawn to you, even if he never said the words? It's because you didn't just give him love. You gave him something deeper. You gave him healing. And healing, real, soul-deep healing, is what makes a bond unforgettable. He didn't walk into your life looking for a cure. He came for comfort, for affection, maybe even for attention. But what he found was a woman who saw his pain, even when he hid it. You touched wounds he thought no one noticed. You gave him peace where he only knew pressure. You didn't just love him, you poured yourself into his broken places. And now, no matter who he stands beside, he will feel the difference. because no one else will love him like the woman who helped him breathe again. There's a quote that says, "The deepest wounds are not always visible, but the deepest love sees them anyway." And that was you. You weren't loud. You didn't try to fix him with force. You healed him by being real, by being soft in a world that taught him to stay hard. And that softness, that's what he'll never find again. Think of a shattered mirror. Most walk away from the mess, too scared to touch the sharp edges. But you didn't run. You picked up the pieces with bleeding hands, just to remind him that even broken things could still reflect light. That's why your bond was different. That's why it still lingers, even in silence. You were not just part of his life, you were part of his healing. But now it's time for you to heal. It's time to stop pouring into a cup that never filled yours. The pain you feel, it's not weakness. It's proof that you were real in a world full of pretend. And now, beautiful woman, now you rise. Not to chase him, not to wait, but to become the woman who no longer needs to fix anyone, because you are finally choosing to pour that same healing back into yourself. Write this in the comments and claim it. I gave healing, and now I rise whole. Let the world hear it, queens. We are here, working hard to bring you not just content, but the truth, the lessons, and the strength that will set you free. Number 4. While he was distracted by the spark, you were the fire that kept him warm. Have you ever watched a fire flicker in silence, steady and warm, while a spark explodes and disappears in seconds? That's what happened. He was too busy chasing sparks, quick thrills, fast compliments, shallow attention. He thought excitement was everything. He didn't even realize that the warmth he kept running back to was you. You weren't loud, but you were consistent. You weren't chasing him, but you were holding space for him. You weren't a moment. You were the fire. And now, that fire is gone, and the cold is starting to creep in. He thought the spark would keep him warm. He thought that momentary excitement would last forever. But a spark dies fast. A spark needs noise, attention, applause. What he didn't understand was that real connection, the kind that lives in the heart, the kind that pulls a man back in his quietest moments, comes from the fire that never demanded anything, yet gave everything. You didn't just love him, you held him, you calmed him. You built a fire that never asked to be noticed, just needed to be respected. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." And your thoughts were never small. You were building dreams, creating space, offering comfort. You were building something real, while he was chasing things that shine only under artificial light. And now, he's realizing that warmth can't be replaced with noise. Think of a lighthouse. It doesn't flash wildly, it doesn't scream, it just stands tall, steady, a silent guide in the middle of the storm. That was you. He didn't notice you when the sea was calm, but now, in the darkness, he's searching for the light he used to ignore. But now, beautiful woman, it's time. Time to stop waiting in the shadows. Time to stop wondering if he'll notice the fire is gone. He made his choice, and now you make yours. You are not a forgotten flame. You are the whole fire. You are the warmth he'll miss on the coldest nights, the glow he'll never find again. Write this in the comments and claim it. I was the fire. He lost his warmth. Queens, type it below. Let the world feel your truth. Let your silence be louder than his regret. And if this spoke to your soul, if you felt seen, heard, or reminded of your worth, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working hard to bring you real, raw, life-changing lessons. You were never just another woman. You were the fire that made him feel alive. Now, it's time to burn for yourself. Number 5. You gave him a home in your heart, and now every place he goes feels temporary. Have you ever noticed how some places feel like home, not because of the walls or the furniture, but because of who's inside them? That's what your love was for him. You didn't just offer attention, affection, or company. You gave him peace. You gave him a place to rest his spirit. You gave him a home inside your heart. And now, no matter where he goes, nothing feels the same. Because no one else holds space the way you did. No one else makes him feel like he belongs. He didn't understand it at the time. He thought your warmth would always be there. He assumed the comfort, the safety, the way you listened to his silence, and still understood. He thought all of that was normal, replaceable. But now that he's gone, he's realizing that not every woman makes him feel safe. Not every connection feels real. And the truth is, he's homesick. But the home he misses no longer has a door open for him. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts," and you colored his world in calm, in love, in loyalty, but he painted over it with something temporary. He traded home for a hotel, something that looks warm on the surface, but can never hold him the way you did. Think of a tree, a strong one, deep roots, steady branches, offering shade in summer and shelter in storms. That was you. He rested under you when life was heavy, but instead of nurturing that bond, he walked away, thinking every tree would feel like yours. But now he's out in the cold, standing under weak leaves, wondering why nothing feels the same. And now, lovely woman, it's time for you to see yourself clearly. You were never just love. You were the foundation. You were the safe place. You were the bond he didn't even understand, until he lost it. But you don't need to shrink to be remembered. You don't need to lower your love to be appreciated. From this moment forward, you stop wondering if he will return. You rise, you build something bigger, and you remember who you are. Write this in the comments and claim it. I was his home, and now I build my empire. Queens, write that boldly. Let the world know who you are. Because we are here working hard to give you the truth, the healing, and the power you deserve. Number 6. He thought you were easy to forget, but he didn't know you'd become the voice in his silence. Have you ever wondered what silence sounds like after you've stopped calling, stopped texting, stopped trying? It's not quiet. It's loud. It echoes in the places where your voice used to be, your laughter, your love. He thought forgetting you would be easy. He believed he could walk away, replace you, move on like you were just another chapter. But he didn't know. You'd become the voice in his silence. And now, that silence is screaming your name. You didn't just touch his heart. You left an imprint on his soul. You became part of his rhythm, part of his everyday. The way you cared, the way you understood him without asking, the way you gave him peace without demanding anything back. That's not forgettable. That's not replaceable. That's emotional glue. And now that you're gone, everything he touches feels a little emptier. Every moment feels a little colder. Because he's learning that the one who made him feel safe is no longer there, and no one else knows how to love him like you did. Seneca once said, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." And that's exactly what he did. He wasted your effort. He wasted your kindness. He wasted a love most people spend their lives searching for. He didn't realize that your presence was the one thing holding everything together. And now that it's gone, his world is unraveling one quiet, lonely moment at a time. Think of a room that once had music, warmth, and light. When that light goes out, the silence becomes a weight. That's what your absence feels like to him. Heavy, endless, unbearable. He walks through his days pretending he's fine, but the quiet moments tell the truth. In the dark, he remembers you, and that voice, your voice, it stays. But now, beautiful woman, it's time you remember who you are. You are not waiting to be remembered. You are rising to be unforgettable. You are not begging to be chosen. You are learning to reign. No more shrinking. No more chasing. This is your moment. This is your throne. Write this in the comments and claim it. I became the voice in his silence. Say it with power, queens. Let the world know you're not just moving on, you're rising above, because we're here, working every day to bring you the strength, truth, and lessons that remind you were never meant to be quiet. You were meant to be a force. Number 7, you gave him a forever type of love, and now he's stuck with temporary people. Have you ever seen a man try to replace a soul-deep connection with short-term attention? He thinks he's moving on, he thinks he's happy, but deep down, he knows. He walked away from something rare, and now he's surrounded by people who only know how to touch the surface, not the heart. You gave him a forever kind of love, a love that didn't come with games, rules, or ego. You gave him something most people search for their whole lives and never find. And now, he's stuck chasing what can't be recreated. You didn't just hold his hand, you held his storms, his fears, his dreams. You poured love into his cracks and called it home. And still, he chose temporary. He chose what looked shiny, what felt easy, what didn't require effort. But now, he's slowly realizing, quick love fades fast. Empty hearts offer nothing but silence, and every smile he gets now reminds him of the depth he once had with you and lost. Love that asks for nothing is the kind that stays forever, even when it's gone. That's what you gave him. Not just warmth, but fire. Not just comfort, but connection. And when a man has felt that once, he will spend the rest of his life comparing. That's the kind of emotional glue you created without even trying. Because real love doesn't chase. Real love doesn't compete. Real love just is, and you were all of that. Think of a rare flower that blooms only once in a lifetime. A man may walk past it, thinking there will be more, but later, in a garden full of copies, he remembers the scent he can't find again. That's what your love was, rare, pure, and unforgettable. And now, while he walks through crowds, you are the quiet absence that screams in his chest. But listen to me, this is not about him anymore. This is your moment. No more shrinking, no more waiting. It's time to remember who you are. You are not just a woman who loved deeply. You are the woman who cannot be replaced. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are rising. This is where the crown fits. This is where the queen begins. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. He lost forever. I became unforgettable. If this message woke something in your heart, if it reminded you of the fire in your spirit, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working hard to bring you life-changing truth, because you were never meant to be an option. You were meant to reign.